Yeah, man! Les bons que voglio di voi se lo muovi for this. Come on, man! Yeah, c'est comme fashion New York Times. What? Cadê messieurs nous mentis? Les bons que voglio di voi se lo muovi for this. Cadê messieurs nous mentis? Yeah, c'est comme fashion New York Times. What? Cadê messieurs nous mentis? Les bons que voglio di voi se lo muovi for this. Come on, cadê messieurs nous mentis? Haïtien nous yen, pas marcher sans fusil. L'on a passé dans black ou plus quoi bandanzi. Pas vle entre l'église, camper ou entre coucher. N'importe nation du sac, passer à tout n'a boulé. Nous pas vle violence, mais nous pas peur vengeance. Des pour les respecter, nous pas bonne chance, nous pas dans rançon.
You already know what it is, man. It's the Growth and Betterment Show. What you never gets you. It's your host, Red Poet. We about to get it in. Today's gonna be a good one. Tap in. Listen. Growth, knowledge, and betterment pertaining to relationships. I know what it is. The second show. Made men and made women only. You already. South by Sea.
Yeah, c'est comme fashion New York Times. Cadê messieurs nous mentis? Les bons que voglio di voi se lo muovi for this. Cadê messieurs nous mentis? Yeah, c'est comme fashion New York Times. Cadê messieurs nous mentis? What? Yeah, man!
You're now listening to Jada
TJC. Dobson. Model cap de mati. Model cap de mati. Model cap de mati. Model cap de mati. Dans l'âge moins sans défait. Qui sont des. La santé dans l'âge moins sans défait. Qui sont des. La santé dans l'âge moins sans défait. Qui sont des. La santé dans l'âge moins sans défait.
What's happening with your man, Red Poet, with you never against you. I know how we do, man. It's the Growth and Betterment Show. We talking about the same thing, man, relationships. We got us a new host today, new co-host for the show today. I'll let her introduce herself. Before I do that, you know what I mean? We only deal with made men and made women on this show. I say that all the time, but there's a reason why I say that all the time. Just so y'all can listen to the right people. You feel me? And if we don't let the right people speak, the people that's still firm through the struggle, then we're going to keep listening to people that always folded, and all they're going to do is keep imprinting the folded mentality. When at the end of the day, it's us standing up, that's what's going to make us make it. You feel me? So people that have stood up already, let's hear what they got to say. So, all right, with all that being said, let's get into the show, man. How you doing?
Hey now.
Everything good?
It is Fancy Okay. How are you guys?
Say that. We in the building with Fancy Okay, man. If you don't know, you know now. You gonna know for real, man. This is a real official person right here, man. Real official woman, stand up. You know what I mean? She does a lot for the community. You know what I mean? But on this show, no big eyes, no little U's. You all gotta go through it. So we got our 3 confessions. You ready to go through our 3 confessions real quick?
Sure.
All right, say that. All right. Do you confess that you have never aided and assisted the oppressor against the oppressed?
Never ever.
Say that. Do you confess that you've never forcibly used your body on anybody whatsoever? Mm-hmm. Say that. Now, do you confess that you have never given up on your birthright? Mm-mm. Say that. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
And
I just want to say, I appreciate being on this show, and coming from someone like you, I appreciate those comments as well. And you are definitely doing this. I've been following and loving this show, and I am honored to be here, and let's get it.
Let's get it. Say that. You already know. So we're going to be talking about relationships, man. We're going to be talking about the last show, man. It did good, man. I appreciate the people. I appreciate the viewers, man. We got 1.2, you know what I mean? They did good. But we're going to go a little, we're going to jump in some more. You feel me? So tell us a little about yourself. Where you from? So first, so people can know where you from and who are you? So people know what you're talking about.
So my name is Frances. Mm-hmm. And I am born and raised from Norwalk, Connecticut. And the streets actually named me Fancy. I want to say a little over a decade ago. And it grew on me. But definitely Norwalk in the house.
Say that. You already know. You already know.
Find me on social media. I know that's for the end, but fancy okay.
Fancy okay. Find her on social media. Say that. So you from Norwalk, so you from Connecticut.
Yes, CT.
Right? CT. All right, say that. So, all right. That's what's up. So, ask you a quick question. What's your opinion? How would you break down? My bad. That right there was, all right. What's your definition of a relationship? What is a relationship to you?
To me?
Yeah, how would you break down the concept of relationship?
One word. Nah, so much more than that. But I feel like a relationship is a lifetime commitment, regardless if it's business, personal, whatever. Because we have different types of relationships. There's levels to it. But it's a commitment with someone or a group of people, however you want to look at it. And that particular person or organization or whatever you choose to commit to, you're building up with. And you know the saying, iron sharpens iron. I really look into that. I really go by that when I'm in this commitment with, someone. Relationship.
Real right. Say that. I like that. That's a good breakdown. You know what I mean? Relationship as a whole, you know what I mean? It's about a lifelong and a lifetime commitment. I like that. So, what would you say, we was raised a certain way, I was raised a certain way, you know what I mean? What would you say pertaining to your upbringing that you learned about relationship? What was your first introduction to the concept of relationship back then that you say is different now? Or is it the same?
I don't think it's the same. I feel like, but this comes with generation, right? The different generations. But growing up then versus the kids that are growing up now, I feel like when I was dating someone in grade school versus how they're dating now, it was more secretive. It was more between me and that individual versus me, that individual on social media. I wasn't doing it for the gram. Right. I was doing it for the actual commitment.
Right.
I feel like that's a major difference. And that goes for everyone. You get that with adults as well, That plays a big part in my opinion. And people back then could have been fronting for the streets. But my bad, I see my peoples. But I feel like that's a major difference.
Nah, righteous. So you say social media change. So what things would you say social media would you think it helps or it hurts the concept of relationship in today's day and time?
Hurts.
How
it hurts it so much because instead of me worrying about what the other individual needs, I'm more concerned about how I look with that individual on camera.
Right. So it's like you got a third eye, so you're really in a relationship with
yes,
you know what I mean, with a third person that's watching you, and that's, you know what I mean, you got an audience.
And you got to please them rather than please the other person, in my opinion. And for any relationship I've been in, even business ship, I don't broadcast it. And the only ones you would know about that I may have broadcast is because we were put in that predicament for you to see it.
Right.
But my partners, I have a handful of partners that social media wouldn't even know.
Righteous.
But you might know the obvious because it's on social media. But that's one of the many, right?
Right. So we would say in today's day and time, the power in a relationship is to be as low key as possible. But does that open doors? That open doors? It's like if you don't use social media, it's like you sneaky because you can hide so much. If you don't, because everybody utilize social media to really know what's going on. If you use social media, you're doing too much. So is there a middle ground, or do you think?
I don't feel like, yes, there is a middle ground. I don't feel like social media, if you're in a strong, committed relationship with someone, then you will not allow social media to affect it. So if me and this person have an understanding and a bond and this commitment, we're going to equally go on social media together with a goal.
Right.
That's not going to alter what happens at home.
Okay.
Or in office, whatever shit we're talking about. But so that's for the strong, right? I feel like as a whole, for the masses, I don't know if anyone and everyone could go by that, but knowing, a selective few that could live promoting what they're doing on a day-to-day basis on social media, but don't allow social media to affect their life.
Real right.
You don't put it down there?
No, you good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, say that. So, all right, let me ask you this, right? We're going to do a scenario.
Okay.
Right? So, you got two people together. You know what I mean? They got some time in. They've been together for a little while. You know what I'm saying? So, people change within relationships. People start to change and become different. How would you go about that in your relationship as, as time going by, because you said it's a lifetime commitment. So your business ships, relationship, however you want to, define a relationship, and people are growing and becoming different. How do you react to that? How do you respond to that? How do you make it a benefit and not be a detriment?
I feel like if I'm building with someone and they're not changing, then there's no growth. I might feel uncomfortable because they're not changing.
Say that.
So now, watching someone change, I'm gonna hope it's for the better, and if it's not, and it's for the worse, then I'm gonna do my due diligence and make sure that I express it and try to figure out how we could fix it or work with it, or how I could help them help me help them in a sense.
Right.
But if it's a change for the better, now I feel like this is someone indirectly holding me accountable to reflect that side of them as well. So now I gotta do better. If not already, then just do more. But I'll take it in as good. I'm really optimistic. I'm like overzealous. I'm always like happy about shit. So I feel like I wouldn't be mad about it. I'll be more so like excited. They're changing. Good. So growth. What do we do now?
What do we do with the change now? Yeah, that's a good. I like that. That's a good breakdown. Say that. So, all right, so what would you say, like, because today you got a lot of, you be hearing a couple things about on social media, people doing polygamy now, and, or some people saying there's a shortage of good men, and there's a shortage of good women. So people are starting to make decisions that before people weren't making when it came to relationships. What would you say about that, like, with that going on with it? Because I feel relationships within itself are changing now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The whole concept of relationship is not really the same anymore. So what would you say pertaining to that? Like, with all of that stuff coming up, that people are adding things to it, they trying to say, oh, it comes from back then, we're just bringing it back, but it's really not what it was back then. It's a new concept they're using, you know what I mean? Or a new way they're going about an old concept.
So I feel like everyone has their own objective, So you might have a couple scenario A, who one person is going to say we should do this because it's something that's been in our past and our ancestors were doing it as an excuse just to have a little fun, right? But then you might have couple B who literally has been bought and raised in that lifestyle, and that's all they know. So now this is what they're going to bring to the table, whether you with it or not. And you got to respect it. You choose to deal with that person or you don't, it's just you. And then you have others that are just going to follow suit, right? I feel as if each case is different because I've seen different scenarios, literally. Honestly, I judge, like, you have to literally take each scenario and address it differently. You'll know someone's bluffing. Someone's trying to like test you. You know someone's trying to like wing it or whatever the case may be. And if you choose to be around for the BS or for the scenario of the fun, then so be it. Me personally, I'm trying to think, how can I answer this? I don't judge. I just feel like, like I just said, every scenario is different.
Right, so it's pertaining more to the situation.
Right, and if you choose, like I said earlier, if you choose to deal with it, then that's on you. And you know what to take it in. You take the good with the bad. And you just have to know how to read the person, because they might just be fronting or it might be real.
Right. So you kind of like taking a chance, because even if they being real, it's probably still new to them.
Honestly.
So it's like, it's still taking a chance.
Or this is how they've been living their whole life.
Right. So now they got a structure to...
See, I gotta say hi to the homie. That's my... Hey,
Pause for the show, but
Hey!
Alright, more or less. So, relationships, right? So let's say, what do you feel like? Because I feel like there's a glitch between a relationship with a younger generation and the older generation. You know what I mean? With a lot of things. You know what I mean? So the relationship we have with our parents, you know what I mean? It's different that what kind of relationship we have with our parents and the newer generations. Like they talk to them. I mean, I can even speak for my younger brother all the way to my older brother, the difference in how we all even respond to our parents. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to know, if you don't mind sharing a small, example of that, because I do get what you're saying, but I want to know from because I'm sure your brothers, your oldest brother to your youngest brother is over a decade apart.
Mm-hmm.
So I am curious to know, because me and my sister, we're only 5 years apart, and then the others are in between.
Okay.
So I don't feel like it's a drastic difference.
Okay. Well, what I would say, like when my brother and I, my older brother and I, when we was coming up, we still was getting the old school rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But after my peoples got used to me and my older brother and I, they got a little more lax with my third brother. I mean, or with the third, you know what I mean? And then with the baby, it was like, do whatever you
Anything
want.
goes.
Because
That's what
the
they
older
say to
brothers,
me, though.
the older brothers are also you. So that's why that's your response.
I'm the one that anything goes.
Oh, okay. So what is it like? What is your relationship with your peoples that's different from the rest of your siblings? Because you do it because now I'm getting, that's good. Because you're the opposite perception than what I would have of it. So say that. So how do you perceive your relationship with your parents than it is with your siblings? Do you view like there's a difference, like the how you conduct yourself, or whatever?
So honestly, I'll be honest with you, because I look at my other peers that are like babies as well.
Right.
For instance, my business partner, right? She's the baby, and her eldest is probably like 15 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to her stories as well. We will get away with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but I feel like because they just not gave up by then, but they just was like fed up or tired or over it. It had nothing to do with anything. My opinion, like, this is child number 5. They like, listen. But I feel like the respect level is still the same. Right. And that's because me looking up to my siblings and my sister, mainly, like, the way she maneuvered, I'm like, okay, I know this is what is wanted, or this is what has to be done in a household, so this is what I would do. But I'm sure if I chose to be...
Oh my God, I wasn't recording the whole time.
That's 420, good, I'm ready.
Happy birthday. Many more. You know what I mean? Many blessings.
Thank you.
You deserve it all. Salute.
Oh, salute.
Lena vibe, Bibus parler. Lena shopping, Bibus parler. Lena club, Bibus parler. Bitch, I'm a boss, Bibus parler. Lena vibe, Bibus parler. Lena shopping, Bibus parler. Lena club, Bibus parler. Bitch, I'm a boss, Bibus parler. I'm some money focused, Rolls Royce, not a Ford Focus. It's about boost, nigga. That's a 9 Taurus. 95 Club, 12 Moon, 95 Blockies. Rap stick, nigga, say less. Stay focused. What's a trap, nigga? 35 for the timepiece. What's a rock, nigga? It's a mic for artists. We got bands, nigga. Give me a 9-piece. Ain't got time for them shit. I like my mind piece. VIP, I got it. Nobody collect money. Never. To the boss, nigga. To that damn money. Top song, biggest style. When not cops, not a gang. Team up, make it move. That's the money gang.
Stay tuned for the rest of the interview. We go from Better Than Show. You already know how we do. Made men, made women only.
Bitch, I'm a boss. Bibus parler. Lena vibe. Bibus parler. Lena shopping. Bibus parler. Lena club. Bibus parler. de chama. Débouche parallèle. Rap state nous fait différent. Yo eten nous fait différent. Flex yo di m'ti pédant. Pull up sou yo m'fait tout pédant. Mon accord ben stand again. Unnecessary une charge flingue. Sou pas ka keep up nous pas ka hang. Débouche parallèle c'est presque gang. Toujours clean mais l'argent sale. 10 années lié sous un ascendant.